Hello, Southwest Florida. Today is Sekou Radio time, and we have a great guest today. Her name is Victoria Sarquisse. Victoria is a professional tango dancer. She's gymnast, and she specializes in flexibility. Victoria, welcome to Sekou Radio.
Thank you, Sekou. I'm so happy
Victoria,
to be here today.
Thank you. We're happy to have you. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself because your resume is too heavy, and I'll prefer you to tell us who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Victoria Sarquisse. I'm the founder of Tangoflex. I am a former competitive gymnast from Argentina, and I was a university professor for 7 years, and I am also a professional tango dancer. So quite a combination.
That's great. Victoria, I met you, and then you are a great teacher. And my first question to you, what is Tangoflex?
So
if you can
Tangoflex,
share the benefit, yeah.
Okay.
If you can share the benefit, who is Tangoflex for, and how you started Tangoflex?
Okay. Yes. So Tangoflex is an interdisciplinary system that works the body through the application of techniques used in the world of gymnastics, fitness, ballet, and tango. So basically, I think of yoga complemented with the strength and flexibility techniques from competitive gymnastics, the gracefulness of ballet, the elegance, and the concept of body movement that come from the world of tango and dance. The Tangoflex method is based on 3 foundational pillars, which are strength, balance, and flexibility, that they work together with the purpose of creating positive, powerful connections within the body and the mind. So it's a low-impact workout with a super fun twist. So who is Tangoflex for? Tangoflex is really for anyone who wants to increase flexibility and mobility, strength and balance as well. It's for athletes, for men and women who want a more supple body with lean, long lines, for dancers who want to create, who want to work their bodies and extension, their body extensions, for women who want to be more graceful in their movements, increasing elegance and confidence, which actually I'm adding a new path, which is all about body elegance, that is including etiquette and style, but I'll have to talk about that later. So let me share the benefits of Tangoflex. So the benefits, you can find reduction from lower back pain, relief from muscular soreness and tension headaches, improved flexibility and range of motion, improved coordination and balance, and the union of the body and mind, and stretching from the inside. So kind of like feeling your body from the inside by breathing into your body, into the muscles, and just releasing that energy so the muscle can stretch a little bit more, gaining range of motion and flexibility to your advantage if you're playing sports or if you're doing, any activities at home that require flexibility and strength. And even now that we're sitting down in computers or on the phone for long periods of time, it can even change our posture. So posture is a huge part of the program because it's so important to keep a good posture to maintain a healthy body. So the other question I think is that how did you start Tangoflex? So after being a competitive athlete for so many years, I was a gymnast, as I said. I was training for so many hours every day, year after year, for probably 15, 16 years of my life. I started at a very young age, and it really takes a toll on your body. I experienced a really bad back pain. I experienced awful headaches, and I also noticed that I was losing flexibility. So my headaches got to the point that they were so bad, I will go to doctors, and the first thing they will do, they will prescribe medication. And to tell you the truth, I was not going to take medication with all the side effects. For me, medication was not an option. So I started to visualize the healing of my body. And I did a lot of research, a lot of even scientific research, to the point that I wrote a book, a manual on flexibility, and I started doing my own program with visualization, relaxation, and a very specific combination of stretches. So, I found that the secret to a healthy body and pain-free body was not in stretching itself, but in the combination of how you stretch your body. So this was like magic to me, to my body, in my healing process. I noticed that after doing certain combinations of stretches, my headaches will go away and my back pain wasn't there anymore. So my body was more flexible and limber and more defined as a result of these exercises. So I started building a completely different body, pain-free. So the idea started with my own healing process, and this happened about 20 years ago when I taught a class at the University of Central Florida, UCF, that I called flexibility yoga. And I would teach my own technique to competitive athletes at UCF. So at first in this class, it was at the beautiful gym they have. It was new at the time, and I had the football players, and then the basketball players would join me in the class that I was teaching, and then the tennis players, and then the dancers and the cheerleaders. But what was interesting is that professors and staff will join as well, and people from diverse backgrounds and abilities. And they will say, wow, because I called the class flexibility yoga at the time. So they will be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, but this is not yoga, but it's amazing. What is this? So I will get comments from people taking the class with the stories that deeply touch my heart. Like, one man, actually one of the athletes, he needed back surgery. And after taking the class for a little bit over 2 months, he was pain-free. And another lady, she was one of the professors at the university, and she said that this class changed her posture and the confidence level. So she felt like a different person. And people were asking a lot of questions about the process and the system that this class had, the system that I was, teaching or sharing with them. So then is when I start thinking, okay, there's something here. I have to kind of step back and take a look at it from the outside to figure out what it was that this class was. And after a lot of research and consulting with a specialist in the field, Tangoflex was born.
So Tangoflex cure was able to resolve your headache and your pain problems.
Yes, the headache was a huge thing for me because it will limit my performance, not only in sports, but it will limit how much I can do in school, how much I can write. It will limit what I will do in a day. So for me, the headaches was like, yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Well,
Yes.
we're going to talk about it, and we're going to share your knowledge and your experience with the world, with the millions of people. If you're just joining us, this is Sekou Radio and my interview with Victoria Sarquisse, who is a specialist who created this new system called Tangoflex. Next question for you, Victoria, is what age were you when you started gymnastics?
I started ballet training at the age of 3, and about a year or 2 later, I started gymnastics. For me, every chair I saw in my house and every sofa or couch, it was a trampoline. So I would jump all day, all over everything I could find myself. I would just jump around, and, you know, my mom was going crazy. And and the first time I saw a gymnast on TV, I told my mom, that's what I want to do. And the first time she took me into a gym, I actually felt in love with the sport, and that became my life. For the next, basically, 16 years of my life, that was all I did, and the life I lived. It was training many hours a day. It was very intense, physically and mentally. My life consisted in training, competitions, and more technique and physical training. So every single day, 7 days a week. And as sacrificed as that was, I loved it. And I always say, you know, flipping in the air, to me, is like the closest thing to flying. So it has that addictive side to it that I couldn't stop. I had to keep doing it.
That's great. So you had a passion for gymnastics.
Yes, definitely.
Now, my next question has to do with the great gymnast the world happened to know. Where were you in 1970 when a lady by the name of Nadia Comaneci from Romania won the Olympic Games, Olympic gymnastics?
Yeah, well, Sekou, I wasn't born then, but Nadia was definitely an amazing reference in the world of gymnastics. She had the first 10, and gymnastics changed forever after Nadia Comaneci. And, you know, now when I look at gymnastics, it's a different sport. The evolution of gymnastics from the time of Nadia Comaneci to what gymnastics has become, it's amazing. It is evolving from, for example, the bars that they were used then. Even when I studied gymnastics, the bars in Argentina, they were not even round. You know, the bars, they are made of wood, and originally they were a fixed wooden rail. So, I mean, can you imagine doing things around the bar on something that is not flexible? What you see now in the Olympics, the bars, they have a fiberglass inside with a wood coating. So the bars are very elastic. The materials are very elastic, so allow more flexibility and allow more, more, let's call it tricks, and that you can do within the bars, and more flips and more difficulty that you can add to your routines. So, and the balance beam was also made out of wood. And since the 80s, it was banned to have a balance beam made out of wood. They have to be covered in leather or suede. So definitely it was a big change from the time when Nadia Comaneci scored the perfect 10 to what gymnastics is now. It's just amazing.
Great answer. So what would you credit Comaneci, Nadia's success to? Practice, perseverance, just passions?
Yeah, she was amazing at her passion, and she will train, and this is from things that I've heard from coaches that trained her as well, and they share the gym with her in Romania, that she wouldn't stop training